Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to share the one skill that you must develop as an ecom brand owner to actually level up and scale properly. Without developing this skill, you will not be able to see real money in e-commerce. You might see a little money in the beginning, but it's not going to be a consistent business. And it's actually surprising to me how many people just don't know about this and how essential it is. And it's actually very simple, yet overlooked, right? You might be spending a right amount of time working on your business, but if you're not working on this one skill, you're not going to see real success in e-commerce. Me harnessing this skill enabled me to make hundreds of thousands of pounds in e-commerce, even by my teenage years. Like, unbelievable, guys. And it was like a light bulb moment when I realized what I had to do. All of the people that I know who run e-commerce brands, multi-six-figure, seven-figure business owners, real brands making real money, have developed this skill and they know how to use it, and they are actively using it. And if you do not know about this yet, you're in for a treat in today's video. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is two of my friends have recently started a clothing brand. Now, luckily for them, they built up an organic audience beforehand. They ended up doing £34,000 within 24 hours on their first drop. And look, some of you are going to be hearing that and thinking, wow, I don't even make that in a year. And most people don't, right? But the problem that they had is they didn't know how to turn it into a proper business. Yet all the information was there and the proof of concept were there. And it brought to my attention that even though they'd made all this money in e-commerce, they still didn't know this one skill to be able to turn it into a real business. And by the way, guys, that video of them doing that is on my channel. So if you want to go watch that, I'm going to link it after this one. But real unbelievable results, and you're going to see us building that business together over the next few months, so stay tuned for that. And subscribe if you want to watch a real brand being built behind the scenes. I am not holding anything back in that series, and it will be perfect for anyone in an ecom business or looking to start one to learn some real alpha skills and see behind the scenes what people just do not show on YouTube. Anyway, the number one skill that you have to develop in e-commerce. So what people love to do is study theory, study the videos, study the books, read up on e-commerce, test stuff out for yourself. That is absolutely great. You should absolutely focus on learning the fundamentals. I am strong on this channel about telling people to learn the fundamentals and the full picture of e-commerce to access what their business can actually do. But what you'll find is if you don't have this skill, you're not actually able to use the other skills that you've spent the time learning, right? And this skill is reading the data. You have to be able to read the data like a doctor. Now, the reason why I say doctor is because what does a doctor do? A doctor looks at his patient, he knows what to look for, and he knows how to fix the patient, right? Now, you've got to look at your ecom brand like a doctor. You're looking for the pain points and you're looking for the problems. Now, you start marketing around your problems. So like for me, with my first e-commerce business, what I did, I had a branded product, okay? This had a lot of heavy search term on Google because it was a branded product, right? A Nike product. So from my skill set, learning this, I was able to look at, right, I'm selling something I don't have amazing margin on. I only had about 35% gross margin to work with on average, right? So I needed to develop an acquisition strategy that was organic, meaning free. Because if I was just relying on paid ads to sell those products, the paid ads would have been too expensive to make enough of a profit to sell that product, right? So whereas it could have been me great spending all my time on Facebook ads, that wouldn't have been the main driving factor in me seeing success in that business, okay? So what I was able to do is, I was able to look at the problem in my business. The problem was I didn't have enough margin to solely rely on paid ads in the business. So I created, using the skill set that I'd learned, an organic strategy, and that was through Google SEO and email marketing because it was cheaper and free to get the traffic to my website and then put them through email sequences to market to that person over and over and collect the customer data. When I had a look at my friend's website the other day, great, they'd made all these sales, but they didn't know what to look for. So for me, the easiest thing that I could have done in that business and the fastest way that they could have made more money selling the exact same thing with the same amount of traffic is simply setting up an email sequence for the abandoned checkouts, because the conversion rate were quite low, right? They had a lot of abandoned checkouts of people not fulfilling that purchase. Now, so let's say you know about email marketing, you know about SEO, you know about paid ads, you know about content creation. All those things are good. However, if you're not reading the data, what you're actually doing is you're not picking up the money that's already there sat on your website, right? You've got to be able to look at the pain points and then create marketing schemes around that. So if you've got a load of abandoned carts, you want to be focusing on email marketing to convert more of those customers because they're your hottest customers, right? You have to get good at reading the data. Now, how do you read the data? Well, the Shopify dashboard gives us all the data we need. If you want to get a bit more analytical, you can get Google Page Speed Insights and you can get Google Analytics and really look at if pages are making customers bounce or if your website's not working and all these type of things. But you have to be able to look at your site and figure out where the problems are. And when you develop that skill, and then you've got the other skills to fix where the problems are, you are going to see dramatic increases in your profits and sales in your e-commerce business. But if there's one thing you can take away from that video, learn this skill of reading data. Reading the data will turn you from an amateur or a complete failure in e-commerce to having a real business that you can profitably scale year on year and eventually sell if you want to. Subscribe to the channel.